When did your white partner's entitlement finally disgust you? I've been speaking Spanish my whole life because my parents immigrated from Mexico before I was born. They speak English when they have to, but Spanish is their heart language. My wife is white and has never put much effort into learning Spanish beyond hola and gracias. This has never bothered me too much because ultimately, it is her choice whether she wants to or not. But it does make it difficult when we visit my family, which is every Sunday for dinner. I basically have to play translator if she and my parents want to have a conversation. My mom tries her broken English sometimes, but she gets embarrassed when she can't find the right words. My dad just stays quiet because his English makes him too self-conscious. I translate to help everyone feel included, especially during my abuela's stories about our family history. About 2 months ago, I started working with a new coworker from Guadalajara named Carlos. We immediately bonded over shared experiences of growing up Mexican-American. He started joining me for lunch, and we would naturally speak Spanish together. One day, my wife surprised me at work to have lunch with us. I introduced them, and Carlos was polite, but after the basic pleasantries, he continued speaking Spanish with me. After Carlos left, my wife complained that we were being rude by excluding her. She said it felt like we were keeping secrets or talking about her. I apologized, but when I told Carlos about her complaint later, he had strong opinions. He said it was disrespectful that she'd been married to me for 7 years and never tried to learn my family's language. He pointed out that my parents had learned English to survive here, but she couldn't even try to learn Spanish to connect with them. Honestly, his words hit me hard. It didn't bother me much before, but now her complaints about being left out felt hypocritical. She's had 7 years to learn at least basic Spanish. There are free apps, YouTube videos, and she literally has native speakers in her life. I decided to stop automatically translating when Carlos and I talked. I told my wife I would still translate for my parents, but not for my friendship with Carlos. She got mad that I was taking his side and letting him disrespect her in her presence. I said those were his wishes, and he had a right to speak his native language. She said I was being unfair and creating division in our marriage. She stopped speaking to me for 2 days. The following Sunday at my parents' house, things got worse. My abuela was telling her famous story about how she met my abuelo during a festival in Mexico. It's a beautiful story with lots of cultural details that don't translate well. Usually I would pause every few sentences to translate, but this time I just listened. My wife kept nudging me and whispering, "What did she say?" But I whispered back, "I'll tell you later." After dinner, she exploded. She said I was purposely excluding her and being cruel. I reminded her that she's had years to learn Spanish. I told her about my mom's embarrassment with English and how my dad stays silent rather than struggle. I said learning their language would mean everything to them. My wife said she understood and promised to start learning. She said she would download an app and practice every day. I thanked her and felt hopeful, but a week passed with no effort. When I brought it up, she said she was busy with work. Another week passed and she said she forgot. Meanwhile, I discovered she had enrolled in Italian classes for our planned vacation to Rome next year. I was furious. She had time and money for Italian, but couldn't download a free Spanish app? I confronted her, and she said Italian was different because it was for fun, while Spanish felt like homework. She said I was pressuring her and making language learning stressful. She claimed Carlos had poisoned me against her and was trying to ruin our marriage. The next Sunday, I went to my parents' house alone. My mom asked where my wife was, and I explained everything in Spanish. My dad shook his head sadly and said he wasn't surprised. He told me how my mom had worked so hard to learn English for me and my siblings. She took classes while pregnant and practiced with strangers at the grocery store. My mom said that's what you do when you love someone. When I got home, my wife was crying. She said I was choosing my family over her. I said she was choosing Italian over my family. She said that wasn't fair because Spanish was harder for her. I reminded her that my parents learned English as adults to survive. She was asking for much less. She packed a bag and went to stay with her sister. She texted me that I was being controlling and unreasonable, but I don't think wanting my wife to connect with my family in their language is too much to ask.